It is something we are seeing in towns and cities across the state. Rents are going up. And tonight, leaders in one city will decide what to do about one specific development. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Pat Callahan.
And I'm Amanda Hill. We've been following this story for weeks, ever since we heard that rents at the Redbank Village in South Portland would be going up hundreds of dollars a month.
Many of the renters are using Section 8 housing vouchers, and they say they're caught between not being able to pay the higher rent and having no other place to go. Tonight, the South Portland City Council is considering two options that may help.
News Center Maine's Jack Mohamed is outside City Hall with more. Jack.
Yeah, Amanda and Pat, the residents of Redbank in South Portland have been struggling to maintain the thought of $400 to $600 rent increases for the better part of 2 months now. But like you said, that could all change tonight with a vote by city councilors to enact an eviction moratorium and a rent freeze.
I've been looking at other apartments and stuff, but I just signed a new lease, so I have to consider breaking that lease and losing my deposit or whatever.
Eric Melunda's called Redbank Village home for
2 years and some change.
But now his home is in jeopardy with a $400 rent increase.
I mean, I was upset. I mean, kind of panicking. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to come up with this extra few $100s for rent.
He's just one of hundreds of residents in the neighborhood, home to many low-income residents who are now faced anywhere from $400 to $600 rent increases.
It's not that you just have to pay just for rent. You have other bills that you have to cover also. You have a car, you have the insurance that you have to pay.
Doja Malanga says her sister, a working mom, is picking up a second job to cover the rent increase.
Maybe Redbank have answers because they're the one who increased the rent and they should know why they did.
But the city of South Portland is trying to find answers with a vote Tuesday, protecting hundreds of tenants from not only eviction, but from increasing rent. The initial draft had just an eviction moratorium, but public comment from concerned residents put pressure on council to adopt a rent freeze as well.
I urge the council to move quickly to rent stabilization.
Ending these egregious fees that these folks have to pay here.
What's happening tonight is what was before you does not address the issue.
But now,
yeah, I like it.
Sue Henderson, councilor at large for South Portland, says the draft, weeks in the making, shows promise in protecting Redbank's residents from
basically a campaign of harassment to drive them out.
Henderson says Redbank Village's new landlords are raising the rent to force out the low-income residents and bring in a better return on investment. South Portland's Human Rights Commission says they need to not let off the gas.
I implore you to go as far as you can with the understanding that this company has done this myriad times. They've paid out class action lawsuit settlements. They ignored federal moratoriums.
Yeah, those of you who have been following our reporting know that Redbank Village management, along with JRK Holdings, the landlord of Redbank, has not been communicating with the media. But the city of South Portland city manager did send us this document that they received this afternoon that is from Redbank management. And they say that the incoming eviction moratorium, if voted through tonight, would hurt them and other South Portland landlords. And they are volunteering their own cap on rent for about 10%. Now, we don't know if that 10% cap on rent would impact those tenants who say that they were coerced into signing leases making more than $400 to $600 in rent. Pat?
Jack Mohamed reporting in South Portland tonight. Thank you.